Good morning, everybody. My name is Dominique Holmes, and I'm the Public Information Coordinator for Hernando County Government. Thank you all so much for joining us today for the groundbreaking at the Dr. Dennis Wilfong Center for Success. I would like to start off this ceremony with an invocation. If I can have Commissioner John Alaco please come to the podium.
Those that can stand, please stand. I believe this is what Dr. Wilfong would have liked. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to come together in collaboration at multiple levels of our local and state government. We thank you for the opportunity to build a facility that's dedicated to bettering people's lives and their futures. And we thank you that we had a gentleman in our community worthy of naming this center after. Amen. We thank the family and friends that are here today as well, Lord. And ultimately, I thank you for this opportunity for our community, and I ask this in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. If everybody, I know you just sat back down, can join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, I'd appreciate it. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, you may be seated.
Really?
Yes, for sure this time. What a great group today. Such a great group that I have an awesome list of dignitaries I'd like to go ahead and recognize at this time. Can I get a wave from Mr. Ed Blummel on behalf of Commissioner of Agriculture Wilton Simpson's office? Thank you, Ed. I believe we have David Halbstein on behalf of Congressman Gus Bilirakis. We have Jordan Ivey and Hannah Christian on behalf of Senator Blaise Ngolia's office. Alyssa Nienhuis on behalf of Representative Jeff Holcomb's office. Hernando County Commissioner and Chairman of the Board, Mr. John Alaco. Hernando County Commissioner Brian Hawkins. Hernando County Administrator Jeff Rogers. Special guest, Mrs. Pam Wilfong. We have some school board members with us today. School board member Gus Guadagnino. School board member Susan Duvall. School board member Shannon Rodriguez. We have the superintendent, John Stratton. Hernando County Sheriff Al Nienhuis. Clerk of Court Doug Korvat. We have the PHSC President, Dr. Timothy Beard. And also a few PHSC board members. Thank you for joining us today. See, I told you it was a great group. Today, we are celebrating an accomplishment of a long-term vision that is becoming a reality. It is truly an amazing partnership between multiple organizations coming together for the greater good of our community. At this time, I would like to go ahead and call up some guest speakers to share details about this collaborative effort. First on my list, can I please have Hernando County Commissioner and Chairman of the Board, Mr. John Alaco.
Good morning, and thank you all for being here. First and foremost, I just want to thank everybody who came together on this. This is for the betterment of our community, and I think it's an example of what every community across the state of Florida should do for the betterment of education and the preparation of our children and our adults in our workforce to be able to get the skills that they need to be able to be successful in the community, raise families, and just be productive members of our society. I'm just going to spend a moment to talk a little bit about Dr. Wilfong. I don't want to take any of his thunder away, but I met Dr. Wilfong a little over a decade ago and never really got a chance to get to know a whole lot about him because he was such a humble guy. And when I decided to run for office originally, he was willing to sit down with me and just have a discussion and get to know who I was. And then over the years, I would call him every once in a while or bump into him downtown in Brooksville, or, just developed a relationship. And this center emulates, I believe, who Dr. Wilfong was. He was a man who had a history, had some really exciting times, had some really challenging times in his professional career, and then he had some really amazing successes in the end. And throughout all of it, he remained humble, and he realized where he got his opportunities. He knew he had certain skills, but those opportunities came from above, and he was never afraid to explain that to me. And he was also the type of person who wouldn't push his experiences on you, but if you wanted to learn from them and better yourself, he was willing to sit there for an hour and a half or 2 hours at the Main Street Eatery in downtown Brooksville and talk about it. Okay? And that's what I loved about him. And when this collaboration came together, and unfortunately we lost Dr. Wilfong, I couldn't think of a better person to name this after. And I am so grateful to the community who was willing to get behind that. And I don't want to say anything else because I'm sweating already and I don't want to mix tears with it. But thank you all for being here, and I'm so excited to move forward with this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Lacco. I did have one dignitary that snuck in the back, Joshua from Marco Rubio's office. You can go ahead and raise your hand. Thank you for coming. So we also have a very special guest, like I mentioned today. I would like to go ahead and invite Mrs. Pam Wilfong to the podium to share a few words.
So first of all, on behalf of my family, I want to thank everyone who's done so much to make this wonderful project and dream of my husband's and many others made it a reality. We're so blessed to have genuine and caring leaders who work so hard to benefit all of us and our families. Coming from a humble beginning, a farm boy in West Virginia, Dennis's core belief was that there is good in everyone. His goal was always to help others find their success in life. In our business, he found people everywhere across the country and worked alongside of them to help them become successful distributors, making sales by their sides as he did hands-on training, while training them how electronics could benefit so many people. He said, if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day, but if you teach him to fish, he's fed for life. We hired young people, encouraging them as we helped to educate them hands-on within the business and sending them to college in their chosen fields. We also, when we sold the business, almost all of them went on to become successful in careers that had their beginnings in innovative technology. Dennis believed that every person was a successful person waiting to happen. He also believed with all his heart, you cannot hold a candle for someone else without lighting your own path. He did that for so many people in so many ways, which was his secret of always being better, super good, but getting better. When our nephew showed us what he was doing in a college in West Virginia, Dennis became more excited about this than I'd ever seen him. Here was an opportunity to help young people learn hands-on all the necessary skills in their chosen fields. It was a concept that allowed already talented, successful leaders to teach students to develop those real-world skills needed in their profession. In other words, they would hold a candle to light the path for others. He envisioned so many young people learning skills as well as work ethics to build a future right here in this community. The impact would be tremendous for everyone for many years to come. He was so excited and began working diligently to spread the concept. He spread enthusiasm and made sure that he could contact everyone he could contact knew about this project. He had many behind-the-scenes meetings with leaders from many places to work on making it happen. Many times he'd shouted from the rooftops. He did everything he could to spread the beautiful concept of a place, a center, where everyone could learn, develop their skills, and be successful. It would truly be his dream come true. It would be a center for success. Today it's an honor to humbly stand here on behalf of Dennis as we do this groundbreaking for this Dr. Dennis Wilfong Center for Success.
Wow, incredible. Another amazing reason why we're here today. Thank you, Mrs. Wilfong. At this time, can I please have Mr. Ed Blummel, on behalf of the Commissioner of Agriculture, Wilton Simpson's office, to the podium.
Good morning and thank you, and I promise you mine will be brief. The commissioner called me last night and asked me if I was going to come to this. I was coming anyway, and he said, would you deliver a few remarks for me? And what do you tell your boss? Certainly, I'll be glad to. Commissioner Simpson, President of the Senate Simpson, farmer, businessman Simpson, father, however you knew him, friend, he had a great respect for Dr. Dennis Wilfong. And for him to have an opportunity to be some small part of this meant a lot to Wilton. And he said, just assure them there are many, many more great things to come here. But the partnership between this center, Pasco-Hernando State College, Hernando Government, Hernando County School System, what a great concept. And John, you're right. Everybody ought to take note of this and do this throughout the state. What a great improvement for our workforce, both young and adults. So, but anyway, Commissioner Simpson wanted to know that he was truly a friend of his first, and then truly a good mentor to him. So on behalf of Commissioner Simpson, and I'm glad to see the checks here. I don't think it will bounce, but anyway, he wanted to say congratulations and hold on, there's many, many more. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bummel. I did want to mention we do have a cooler with water if anyone is dying like I am. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and invite up President of Pasco-Hernando State College, Dr. Timothy Peard, to the podium.
Excuse me, I think Jeff forgot to read my memo I sent him last night, and that is I don't need another suntan. Let me just say we always acknowledge our bosses, our board members, past chair John Mitten, past chair and current vice chair Marilyn Pearson Adams, and also our great supporters, former board members and foundation board members, Morris Portman and, of course, Mr. Ed Blummel. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for PHSC for being in the house. Lift your hand if you're in PHSC. When Dennis and I met several years ago, 4 or 5, we connected from day one. It was almost as if I've been knowing him all of my life. But I kind of worried about Dennis. We took a trip to West Virginia, Dennis and Dwayne Lee Chichester. And it was in the fall, October of 2019. And we rented a car, flew into Pittsburgh, rented a car, and it started snowing in West Virginia. Hills, valleys at night, and they asked me to drive. So Pam, I called Wendy and told her exactly where my wheel was located. But Dennis was my kind of man. And I kind of got mad at God. I want to confess, I got mad at him like Job. I was reminded of a story of a preacher from the Church of God in Christ. He lost 4 members at one time in a car accident. And he got mad and told God, why did you take these members, my best 4 tight paying members. And God said, well, Mr. White, Mr. Clean White, first of all, they were my members. And Clean White said, well, God, I had other hell raisers you should have taken. I believe today, as I look back, I talked to God and said, God, we had a lot of the hell raisers you should have took instead of Dennis. Dennis was a ball of love, kindness, and commitment. This center epitomizes what he was willing to do. He was relentless. He worked tirelessly to make this happen. Even though I have a few more official days at the college, it would not kill my Dr. Dennis Wilfong spirit to try to make this happen. The best I can do is to do all I can do to support you, the county, the school system, the college, our legislature. We need you. This needs to happen. So as we move on, my commitment to Dr. Dennis Wilfong as he looks down upon us and Pam and to this great Hernando County community, second to none. We love the cohesiveness, the camaraderie that we are experiencing at this particular time in our season of life. Let's make it happen. Lastly, if we faint not, we will certainly reap in our due season. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Timothy Beard. Now at this time, can I please have Superintendent of Hernando County Schools, Mr. John Stratton, to the podium to share more about this joint effort.
Good morning. I too want to thank my board for being here, and I want to pass on regards from Board Member Johnson and Board Member Prescott. They weren't able to be here today, Jeff, but wanted me to let you know they will continue to support this wholeheartedly, as the boards have. And I just want to take a moment and thank all 3 organizations. It has been an absolute honor and pleasure to work alongside both of you. And I thank your boards, respective boards and my own, for their unwavering support on this project. And Jeff, as a community member and superintendent, I admire your leadership on this project and in the county as a whole. It's truly been an honor. I think back to those days we sat in the law firm conference room talking about this concept, and we were on different pages, certainly. But then it just started to click, and we became on the same page. And I do believe Dennis had a part of that. I didn't know Dennis as well as the others, but I will tell you what I heard described is what I experienced. He would pull me aside after those meetings, and we just recently had met each other, and he would advise me and give me where to go and what to do. Invited me to the cabin. Unfortunately, I never got to do that. I was looking forward to that. He made me feel welcome and truly a part of what this was going to become. So I admired that very much. We're on the precipice of greatness right now. Look at this project here. There is no other like that I'm aware of in the state. And it's an amazing, amazing economic driver. It not only will it benefit my community, Dr. Beard's community, but the community as a whole with this project. And I'm out going around the state, and I talk a lot about career and technical education and building a pipeline and those types of things. I found myself sitting in the room with all the space industry. You've got SpaceX, you've got Blue Origin, you've got the Lockheed Martins, all of them. I talk about what we do at the K-12 and adult ed, what we provide and what we're trying to do, and then I introduce this concept. And that has led to conversations with Valerie, Jeff, with that group over there, and I think it's only the beginning, whether it's that industry or others. When we can sell this and show that we're together, it's and united, it's just incredible. And it was mentioned earlier, I just want to end on, this is what happens when we work together as organizations for the betterment of the entire community. More projects like this need to continue. So thank you for the unwavering support of those here today to make this come to fruition. And finally, we actually see shovels turning, and I'm excited. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Stratton. I would like to go ahead and invite up County Administrator Jeff Rogers to the podium to give an update from the county.
Thank you, and good morning. Thank you, John, for the kind words. Wow, today's a great day. The day of vision becomes a reality. You know, for the last 2 years, I've driven by this property every time I drive by it, and I imagine what it looks like when I see trees start to come down and everything that we've talked about with Dennis and the whole group here, and envisioned what's going to happen here. And so now we get to drive by and see it come out of the ground every day. So I'm really, really excited that no longer is this going to be a dream. It's going to become the reality. You know, many people, as we've already discussed today, had visions. Dennis had a great vision, the Manufacturers Association, a vision to provide resources to local companies, PHSC and the corporate college wanting to provide training resources for people to move up in their life and provide great trainings. School board, with their already successful SunTech education, adult education, wanting to grow that, expand it, and have one campus for that vision going forward. And in the county, its economic development opportunities, and wanting to really provide the ability to have resources for businesses to stay here, you know, grow here, and then also business to relocate here for the future betterment of the quality of life in Hernando County. But from to get that the vision to become a reality, as we're standing here today, requires some execution, right? So I'm going to take a couple seconds and thank some people that I feel really have helped a lot. And first, I want to start with our great legislative team, Representative Holcomb's office, Senator Ngolia's office, Commissioner Agriculture Simpson's. They were key in helping us in the past couple of years to work with our great governor, Ron DeSantis, and provide this check, right? So this check starts at the $6 million of funding that's helping funding the infrastructure project here today. So not only did our legislative team stop there with the Governor DeSantis, there's over $18 million invested between this project and the school's Simpson Technical College project here from the state investing here locally. And so that's to be applauded, right? So as we move forward as the state investing here. So while I have you, though, legislative teams, representatives, so the dream is almost a reality, right? We're very close. So you have the opportunity for one more investment. One more investment. The county is getting a school. This legislative session, we look forward to continuing this conversation that Dennis started. For Dennis's reality and his vision to come to success. So we'll be looking to work with you this legislative session for one more investment in Hernando County, so we can get PHS's corporate college out of the ground here and real training for the future of our airport here. So that college is going to provide aviation training and aeronautics, and just really provide a jump start and a growth in our airport operations here and the jobs in this community. So well worth the investment. We'll continue that conversation shortly. So I do want to point out, I do want to do a special thank you. Carla Rossiter Smith is in the audience. So you know, it was her personally, her proactiveness, her expertise to be able to go after this grant funding, coming up to me in a meeting and telling us we should do this, and then her expertise in writing that grant and foreseeing a future, and she's the reason why we even started to have this funding. So Carla, we thank you very much. We also thank Pasco-Hernando State College for allowing her to work for the county now, and you can't have her back.
You know he's home, that's why he said this.
Anybody can bring me $6 million has to work for me. I do want to thank our purchasing staff in the county and budget and legal staff that's worked on all these documents to get here today. Eric Vandenbergard, who's in the audience today, overseeing the construction here, putting this together, and will overseeing the future construction here at the county. I thank him for all his work. We want to thank Coastal Engineering is here today, a local engineering company that's designing this, with Manuel and his team. I also want to say thank you. They also donated survey services on this project when we first started to get us going. And so I appreciate their donation to Hernando County to make it a better place. We're also blessed to have another local company, Goodwin Construction. His area is going to be the ones building the campus, the infrastructure for the county. So it's great when we can have local companies building the foundation for the county's future economic terms. So we're really excited about the local companies and being involved here. We thank you. As mentioned before, you know, this project is really special, really due to the unity and collaboration that's been shown and continues to show in this project. And And Dennis, I probably can't talk a lot because I'll get too emotional, but he was really about that in the beginning. He talked, as I already talked to John and Tim has mentioned, he talked to everybody, right? And so Dennis was the original one talking about collaborating, trying to figure out how we're going to do this, right? This project, and not showing. And one thing is persistence, right? Dennis was anything but persistent. His vision, he had that vision. He carried around those pamphlets of what it could look like, and probably gave me 10 of them, right? And so every time I was like, I got this, Dennis. Well, you should have another. Okay. And so if you want one, I got in my office, right? And so and he's very persistent, and that's required to get things done, right? And so. But, as mentioned already by John, was, we found First Unity in Tom Hogan's law firm in downtown Brooksville one day. There was a meeting with all these different visions that everybody had. Somehow we got all those visions in a conference room, and everybody around the table, and everybody had their own ideas of what it should look like in the end. But we found that day, we found a way to work together for the betterment of Hernando County and to come out with one plan that we could support each other on. And because of that, that coming together is why we're even here today. So this vision becoming a reality also has gained us, this complex that we're going to build, this capital assets, but it's also gained us, as John has also mentioned, a great partnership. We've learned through this, the partnership of the county and your school board and PHSC being uniquely cooperating going forward, and like every great economic development team, they marketed it already. So Valerie Pianta and her team has already come up with what we call the HEART program, Hernando Academic Response Team. And so, as John mentioned, as we continue to show this opportunity in the future for anybody that's looking for training, looking for opportunities to come to our county, you don't have to worry about whether we're going to be able to work together. We've already shown we can do it, and we have a marketing person to tell you we're going to do it, right? And so, great job going forward. So, I'm really proud of that as much as anything else going forward is that collaboration that we founded, that we strengthened, we'll be able to handle the next things that come at us, right? And so that's as much important as actually building these buildings is that collaboration, working together. So a lot of people here today, and I'll close on this, is that College, School Board, Manufacturing Association, Chamber of Commerce, Technical Advisory Councils, working together to improve Hernando County. This process has showed us one thing, that we have to look, when we get together, we have to look beyond our differences to find a solution that's the best not for us personally, right? We're just here to serve. Best for the people in Hernando County, the businesses and the citizens of this county. So without this collaboration and unity, we would not be here today paving the future to success in Hernando County. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, County Administrator Jeff Rogers. At this time, we will begin the groundbreaking ceremony. Can I please have all dignitaries, guest speakers, and representatives from the contractor and consultant companies to grab your assigned shovel over here and helmet for a group photo. We're going to officially break ground over here. So we know it's a hot one today. Be sure to grab an ice cold water and a koozie. Now let's break ground.